Guess who's back?
Good morning, good
Guess
afternoon, or
who's
good
back?
evening. It doesn't matter what time you're listening. Welcome, and thank you for being here. Today, I want to talk about something very simple, but very important if you're learning English. Daily English phrases. Not difficult grammar. Not long sentences. Not advanced vocabulary. Just the phrases you really need every day. Many people think English is hard, but English becomes much easier when you focus on simple daily phrases, because daily phrases give you confidence, and confidence helps you speak. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know what to say in real situations. Let's start with one of the most important phrases. Can you repeat? This phrase is extremely useful. Nobody understands everything the first time, not learners, not even native speakers. When you say, "Can you repeat?" you are not saying you're bad at English. You are saying you want to understand. This phrase keeps the conversation going. It gives you another chance to listen. And people are usually happy to repeat. Another very important phrase is, "I understand." This phrase is short, simple, very powerful. You don't need to understand every word. You just need to understand the idea. When you say, "I understand," you show confidence, and confidence makes conversations easier. Now let's talk about a phrase many learners are afraid to say. I don't understand. This phrase is not negative. It's honest. When you say, "I don't understand," you give the other person a chance to help you. They can explain again. They can use simpler words. They can slow down. That's how real learning happens. Another daily phrase you really need is, "One moment, please." This phrase gives you time. Time to think, time to breathe, time to remember a word. You don't need to answer fast. You need to answer clearly. Speaking slowly is not bad English. Speaking slowly is good English. Another very useful phrase is, "How do you say?" This phrase helps you learn while speaking. For example, "How do you say this in English?" This keeps the conversation in English and helps your vocabulary grow naturally. Another important phrase is, "What does that mean?" New words appear all the time. You don't need to know all of them. You just need to ask. Asking questions is part of learning. It shows interest, and interest helps you improve. Another phrase that helps a lot is, "Let me try." This phrase removes pressure. It tells the other person that you're learning. People become more patient, and patience creates a safe space. A safe space helps you speak more. Another daily phrase is, "That makes sense." Native speakers use this phrase all the time. It shows understanding, and it sounds natural. Another useful phrase is, "Can you help me?" This phrase builds connection. People like to help, and helping creates conversation. Conversation creates practice. Practice creates confidence. Another very important phrase is, "I'm learning English." This phrase changes everything. People speak slower. They use simpler words, and you feel less pressure. Pressure blocks speaking. Comfort helps speaking. Another phrase you really need is that correct?" This phrase helps you learn in real time. You speak, and then you check. This is how children learn languages. Adults can learn the same way. Another useful phrase is, "I'm not sure." This phrase is very natural. It shows honesty, and honesty builds trust. Trust makes conversations easier. Another daily phrase is, "That's a good question." This phrase gives you time to think, time to organize your idea, time to speak calmly. Daily English is not about sounding perfect. It's about communicating. Daily English is survival English. English you can use anywhere. At work, at the store, with friends, with strangers. These phrases give you control. Control reduces fear. Fear blocks words. When you know what to say, you feel safer. You don't freeze. You don't stay silent. You speak. Simple phrases are powerful. Simple English works. You don't need advanced English to communicate. You need useful English. Daily English phrases help you speak every day. They help you stay calm. They help you stay confident. And the more you use them, the more natural they feel. The goal is not perfection. The goal is communication. And communication starts with simple, daily phrases. As you continue using these daily English phrases, something important starts to happen. You stop feeling nervous. You stop feeling blocked. You stop overthinking every sentence because you already know what to say. Daily phrases give you structure. They give you direction in a conversation. You're no longer lost. You're no longer silent. You have tools. And when you have tools, you feel confident. Confidence doesn't come from perfect grammar. Confidence comes from knowing how to react, knowing how to ask for help, knowing how to ask for repetition, knowing how to say you understand or you don't understand. These phrases help you stay in the conversation, and staying in the conversation is how you improve. Many learners wait until they feel ready, but the truth is, you never feel completely ready. Readiness comes from action, from speaking, from trying. Daily English phrases make that easier. They reduce fear. They reduce pressure. They reduce silence. Instead of thinking, "What should I say now?" you already know. You say, "One moment, please." You say, "Let me try." You say, "How do you say?" And suddenly, you're speaking. Another important thing about daily phrases is that they work everywhere. You can use them at work. You can use them at the store. You can use them on the phone. You can use them with strangers. They are universal. And because they are universal, you hear them again and again. That repetition helps your brain. It helps your pronunciation. It helps your listening. The more you hear them, the more natural they sound. The more natural they sound, the easier they come out of your mouth. And one day, you realize something important. You're speaking without thinking too much. That's a big moment, because overthinking is one of the biggest problems for English learners. Daily phrases solve that problem. They give you ready-made language. Language you don't need to build. Language you don't need to translate. You just use it. And using English is better than studying English. Of course, studying helps, grammar helps, vocabulary helps, but speaking builds confidence, and confidence changes everything. When you're confident, you make more mistakes, and that's good, because mistakes mean you're trying. Mistakes mean you're learning. Daily phrases create a safe space for mistakes. You're not trying to sound advanced. You're trying to communicate, and communication is the real goal. Another beautiful thing about daily phrases is that they help you listen better. When you know what phrases exist, you recognize them faster. You start hearing them clearly. You start understanding conversations more easily. Because English conversations are full of repetition. The same phrases appear again and again. And every time you recognize one, your confidence grows. Little by little, sentence by sentence, day by day. This is how fluency really grows. Not fast, not suddenly, but steadily. Daily English is not magic. It's consistency. It's choosing to speak every day, even a little, even with mistakes, even with simple words. Simple English is powerful. Simple English opens doors. It allows you to connect with people, to share ideas, to express yourself, and expression is freedom. When you can express yourself, you feel confident. You feel independent. That's why daily English phrases matter. They give you independence. You don't depend on perfect sentences. You don't depend on translation. You don't depend on silence. You depend on communication. And communication is always possible with simple English. So if you are listening right now and you feel stuck, remember this. You don't need more grammar. You don't need more rules. You need more speaking. You need more daily phrases. Choose a few phrases. Practice them. Use them. Use them again and again. At first, it feels strange. Then it feels normal. Then it feels natural. And one day, you'll speak English without fear, without pressure, without overthinking, because you'll know what to say. Daily English phrases are the foundation. They are the base. They are the starting point. Everything else builds on top of that. So keep it simple. Keep it practical. Keep it real. Speak every day, even a little. Trust the process. English is not a test. English is a tool to communicate, a tool to connect, a tool to grow. Thank you for listening. I hope this helped you feel more confident and more comfortable with English. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and remember, confidence grows one simple sentence at a time.
Si te gustó este video, sígueme para más contenido como este. Aquí te dejo todas mis redes para que no te pierdas nada.